You have it there, the medal.
I have it here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is your third gold.
Yeah, yes.
Does this one feel any different?
Yes, it does feel different. I mean, I think every Olympics I've been to 4 Olympics now, and every single experience has been wildly different. So this, every medal I've earned has meant something special. And I think yesterday, in this slalom race, it was really a symbol of the work that my team has put in, and my coaches, my staff, my family, all of the supporters, everybody back home, the sort of broader group and partners and everybody. We talk about the village it takes to bring an athlete to this level, and then even further to allow them to have the potential and the capacity and the capability to execute. And it's not easy. It's never given. And it took a lot of work and a lot of focusing from from everyone around me to be able to put this out there.
How about you, the work you did?
I think it goes without saying that I've dedicated at least 25 years of my life to be able to ski the way that I do. Like I said, it's not easy. This sport, ski racing, is such a precise sport with such fine margins, and every run that I take, my best runs, are some combination of full intensity, risk, totally on the limit, and somehow you manage to stay in the course. But even with this slalom race, I felt on both the first run and the second run, there was 3 or 4 different spots in my run that I could have been off the course in the blink of an eye.
You felt you were that close to the edge?
I felt like I was that close to the edge.
Because you were pushing yourself harder than you were comfortable with?
No, it's kind of what fast skiing demands. So with ski racing, and especially with slalom skiing, you can attack the gate at a different angle. And if you go rounder around the gate, it's a more conservative line. You bend the ski less and you produce less force in the turn. So even going from one turn to the next, it's a slower tempo. And so as a human, you can manage that visually, you can manage the input better, the proprioception and the control. And the world's best slalom skiing right now is, there's no room to be conservative in the way you tactically approach the gates. And I don't know if I'm putting this in a way that people will understand, but you have to go straight at that thing. You point your ski tips straight at it. And somehow you need to end up about this far away from it.
Well, you fly toward it.
While you're flying towards it, going about somewhere between 55 to 60 kilometers an hour.
And when you see the very talented German skier right in front of you hit that first gate, how much does that rattle you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was purposely staying a little bit back from the start, so I didn't see her make the mistake, but I saw her standing on the slope. When I pulled into the start gate, I looked down at the slope, and usually that's a moment for me to recenter and basically to bring out the mentality, to say I am here now and I want to take this on. And I saw Lena. She's a close friend. I've been competing with her for years and years, and I was there for her first World Cup podium in, I think it was in Ofterschwang, Germany, maybe. This was years ago, and I've gone through my ups and downs in career, and she's gone through hers, and she's fought her way back to be a medal contender in both the GS and the slalom here. I think the work she's done is incredible, and I saw her standing there on the mountain. She was so close, and I wanted to be like, Lena, it's okay.
But does that make you think, oh my gosh, this can happen to me too? Or you just put that out of your brain?
I think depending on the situation, that those kind of moments can really make me second guess myself for any athlete. But for this slalom race, actually the mentality that I wanted to comfort her was a little bit of a sign in my head that it was I know what I'm doing. It's a good reminder. that on top of everything else, you have the whole course ahead of you and all of this, everything to manage. Don't forget about the first gate either, like remember that you have to get around the first gate. It's a good reminder, but in the end, I felt really trusting in my capability because of the work my team has done with me. And to feel like I could balance the emotions of watching Lena in that moment of heartbreak and to want to be there for her and to still manage my own moment. In the end, I don't know if it means something besides I was in a good mental space.
Can you describe the Olympics level pressure? You've won 108 World Cups. You know what it's like to race. How different is the Olympics?
I think the Olympics is different in every way except from start to finish. Like
the race itself?
The race itself, skiing is skiing. In ski racing, every single day is different. So we rarely see the same snow conditions. It's just a sport of ever-changing, uncontrollable variables. The course set, the distances between gates change, the way the course is set straight or very turny changes, the hills, the terrain, the snow conditions, obviously the weather and the sunlight and all of this variability. So we are constantly practicing being flexible and pliable and still learning to sort of take control of gravity in the right moment. So when I say that, between the start and the finish, it's ski racing, that also innately, that like implies that every single day is different.
But then when you add the Olympics on top of that, how does it change everything? Or does it change everything?
It does. It does in the preparation. For me, after 3 other Olympics and all of the different experiences I've had, I know what it feels like to win gold, and I know what that can do for your career. It changes the trajectory of how you're able to work in markets and how you're able to promote your sport, how you're able to succeed and set up a life for yourself. And those are really important things. But it's not why I'm doing this. So coming here, I came here for the turns between the start and finish. I came here to show up with my skiing and mentality. And it just took a lot of mental work and preparation and communication with my team and helping them understand the experiences I've been having, because for sure there's a response. No matter what way your result goes, there's a reaction. And it's a reaction that you don't get in World Cup. If I was 4th in a World Cup race, people would say, you'll get him next time. And they move on. And in the Olympics, it's like clickbait titles and headlines and articles for quite some time. But this period of time, I just didn't go on social media. I unsubscribed from all the articles and all the publications that I normally follow. To try to
block everything out?
Yeah, just to create a bubble around myself and my team together so we could show up with like unity and cohesion. And we've been so communicative. They know what my concerns were. And really the concerns are criticism in the face of showing up with an underwhelming performance.
You've admitted you were scared going into this.
Yeah.
In a way, you could look at you and say, how can she still be scared? She's got other gold medals. Every time I say your name, I say the winningest alpine skier of all time.
Yeah.
Why do you think why do you get scared coming in?
I think it's scary because for me personally, I care what people think. And everybody talks about, well, not everybody, but it's a common theme you see these days, especially on social media. All the influencers are out there, and many are talking about, for my mental health, I'm going to cut toxic people out of my life. I'm not going to listen to the haters. New Year's resolution, I just don't care what people think. I don't know how you can flip that switch. And I've been through it, knowing that people will say their own narratives. They create their own storyline about my sport that's not based in reality. And it frustrates me to no end to see all of the incredible performances of athletes at the Olympics across all sports, whether they're winning a medal or they're not winning a medal, but it's taken determination and hard work and effort and sacrifice, and every single athlete is spectacular. And to see any amount of criticism for what wasn't accomplished versus just highlighting what was. But then as an athlete, you have to like separate yourself from the idea that titles are important and, views and readers, and that's what keeps this world spinning. That's what keeps the businesses in check. And you have to be able to like separate yourself from that. And I just knew I wouldn't be able to do that in these last 2 weeks. So I didn't look.
You talked a lot about your dad and thinking about your dad around that winning run, those winning runs yesterday. Yeah. I wonder if your gold medal win, this third, does that help you in any way in the grief in dealing with the loss of your dad?
I don't think it helps, but I think the journey I've been on to accept this moment happened long before the moment.
To accept winning?
Yeah. Well, winning an Olympic medal without him here was terrifying to me before I knew that it was. In Beijing, I didn't know that I was scared of that. I didn't realize what was going on in my head and that's not a reason why I made mistakes or didn't finish in Beijing. Like that was its own isolated experience. But when I walked away from Beijing, I realized there was some small bit of relief that I didn't have to experience a world where I can win an Olympic medal and my dad is not alive.
Because you wanted him there.
I wanted him, I want him to be alive. Like, I want him there. I want him on the other side of the phone. I want him there for my mom. I want him there for my family. I want him there to see my brother have his first child in the next month or so. I want him there to walk me down the aisle. I don't want life without my dad alive. But here we are 6 years into it, and that's still awful. And it's been a journey just in the last couple years, and a lot of, like, I work with a psychologist regularly, and she was here for these whole 2 weeks, and we had daily conversations. But, it was back in, I think, probably July when I first talked to her about these concerns around the Olympics and saying, like, I don't know that I want to win.
What a weird thing to think about, even be able to
be afraid
accept.
to win, what athlete, if you have the capability of doing something like that, to execute a run of slalom this way, why wouldn't you just take it? But I'm in this mental space to say I'm afraid of this because I don't want to know what this life feels like without him here. And so it's been a journey just to get to the moment where I could take this race day and say, I do want this moment. I want to execute the skiing. And I also want him here.
I have to let you go, but I have to ask about 2030. Are we going to see, do you think about the future?
I think about the future a lot, but I don't have any answers about. 4 years seems like a long time, but I know it goes by in the blink of an eye. So we'll see. I won't say no, but I won't say yes either.
Can I just tell you one other thing? Jack and I, cameraman, were standing at the finish line. We were nervous before. I'm like, I don't even know this woman.
I don't know what's happening, but I can feel my heartbeat in my bum.
I can't imagine what it was like to be in your shoes, in your boots.
It's wild. I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah. But I mean, it's just, you show up there and you're in the start and I felt my entire team with me in that moment. And that was amazing.
You did it. Congratulations.
Thank you.